Well, the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage falling slightly to 7.18%, but still remains elevated. Inventory still remaining tight. Short supply is happening. The National Association of Homebuilders sentiment down for the first time this year. Joining me now, global real estate advisor Jenna Stauffer. Jenna, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you here in New York City.
Wonderful to be here.
Yes, all the talk right now is that we're in a housing recession, are we?
So this year has just been so unpredictable. So rates, prices, they have totally moved against expectations. Instead of providing any relief to buyers, what they've done is they've sparked an affordability crisis. And we really are in one of the most unaffordable housing markets that I think we have seen in a really long time. And I know we keep hearing about affordability. I feel like affordability, I keep talking about it, but it's the buzzword because it is such a risk factor. So the housing market, it is central to the economy, and we are in uncharted waters. So we've never had interest rate hikes as sharp as what we've had in the past year and a half.
Well, you know, Lawrence Yune's going to be joining me tonight on Maria's Wall Street show, and he's predicting 8% interest rates on the 30-year fix. I mean, that's the most popular mortgage in this country. You think 7% is rough for people. 8% is going to be just a brutality I think we haven't seen in years. So what does that do to prices? I mean, I'm assuming that that's going to really make a big difference and push prices even lower.
You would think that it would push prices lower, but it just seems like with the lack of inventory that we have, these prices aren't going anywhere. There's still demand to buy. There's still people who want to purchase homes, but there's no homes to purchase. Yeah. There's such a lack of inventory because you just have sellers that are holding on to those interest rates. No one wants to pay more for a house and then pay double the interest rate.
Yeah. Well, from July 2021 to July of 2022, the population in Florida, where you are, it grew to over 22 million people. How do you think, Adalia, is going to impact this idea that all these new residents that moved to Florida now realize, oh, I'm in hurricane country? Is that a discussion, do you think, that's going to happen? Would that change the real estate story, do you think, in Florida?
So Florida always goes against what you think should happen after a hurricane.
That's true, okay.
Florida is very resilient, and you know, we've seen it now become the fastest growing state in the nation. Prices have just remained steady in Florida. And look at what happened after Hurricane Ian. Fort Myers, Naples, these cities just grew in price growth. So I just think that Florida will continue to remain that hot spot. So many people are coming down here from New York. They would much rather take on the risk of hurricanes, maybe take on higher insurance costs versus having to pay higher taxes like they have to pay in states like New York.
So how did your home and you're in Key West? How did everything fare down there with the hurricane? I know that you got out before the storm hit.
I did get out before the storm hit, but where I was located, we were very fortunate. It can always be worse, and thankfully in the Keys in South Florida, we were able to escape any real damage.
We were just talking about Governor DeSantis and his response to the hurricane, and that the preparations were there.
They really were there, especially compared to Hurricane Ian. It seems like the preparations weren't there. We didn't know that the storm surge was going to be what it was, and so many people stayed in their homes, and that's why people really ran into so many challenges.
Final thoughts on the housing market. You know, the spring season was certainly not what was expected. I thought I would see more price drops, and we did not see that. We saw kind of a stuck market. What do you think about the rest of the year?
Yeah, so again, I think it's all going to come down to affordability and inventory, and I think we're just really in uncharted waters. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with interest rates, as you were talking about. They could definitely go up. There are indicators that inflation is cooling, but then there's also indications of strong economic growth, and that could put upward pressure on prices in the short term. And I think just being in these uncharted waters, the outcome of everything really remains unknown. So we'll continue to see this sluggish housing market.
All right. And so you still think Florida is going to still be the top of the market? Because we are seeing prices fall in places like Austin, Texas, and Phoenix, Arizona, but
I think Florida,
happening.
yeah, I think Florida's going to do well. But, you know, I do think that some cities in the Midwest, we're seeing Chicago now. They're really posting some price gains month over month. Cleveland, Detroit, these are cities that are more affordable, which is, again, what's driving the market. So you might see more cities in the Midwest where the cost of living is lower. They might do pretty well this coming year.
Interesting. Well, again, real estate is always a great topic. It's great to see you.
It is.
Always good to talk
Wonderful
to us.
to see you.
Talk real estate with you.
Yes.
All right, Jenna Stauffer.